I thought I was weird. Is your trauma keeping you isolated from others? I used to think that I was the only one that was so sensitive. I was the only one that was, somebody that liked to learn. I didn't like to be around big groups very much. Sometimes it's fun, but mostly I like smaller groups with deeper conversation. I was into spirituality and health, and I remember, thinking as a teacher that all the other teachers seemed so organized, and I would be the one that was, turning in papers late to the office because I would forget about it, and all the other teachers seemed to be very structured and know when things were due and have them turned in on time. When I was a stay-at-home mom for just a short time, one of my neighbors was really good about, keeping her kids on schedule, keeping everything clean and on track. And I was thinking, I hate cleaning all day. I hate cooking and feeding kids and putting them down to sleep. And, I loved being a stay-at-home mom in many ways because I got to be with my children all the time. I got to be the one to take care of them, but I didn't like the actual homemaker part. And I thought that made me weird. And I really liked creating things, and that part of my mind was just really bored. And I know there were ways that I could have adjusted and fixed that, but I had to go back to work because I got a divorce. And I just remember thinking when I went back to work, like, oh, now I can use that creative side of my mind that I had been missing so much as a stay-at-home mom of toddlers and infants. And so it really wasn't until even just maybe, let's see, I don't know how many years it's been since I got my coaching certification, maybe 10, not quite 10, 7. That's when I kind of realized, like, oh, these are my people, because I went into health coaching and all the people there were so interested in learning. They were into health. They were into spirituality. They were into the psychology of how people think. They were into just that creativity of being an entrepreneur and helping people. And I just felt like, oh, these people know me. And I made some friends with people that were even in different states. But I guess what I realized was, I'm not the only one that is the way I am, and it kind of helped me break out of my shell a little bit more. And I just loved being a health coach. I still love it. I love everything about it. I've changed my niche a little bit where I'm not quite working with people on their diet and things like that. It's more the psychology side, the emotions. But, I've joined other groups since then, and, I just have learned now what it is that makes me tick and what makes me different. And I know that trauma was part of it, and it may be for you as well. You may not be interested in all the same things I'm interested in, but there are people and groups out there that are, more fitting to you. And so here's some of the ways that trauma can keep us isolated, keep us from feeling comfortable around other people. And that is, trauma makes you have trouble opening up and be vulnerable to others. It keeps you emotionally aloof because you're always afraid of what the other people are going to do. You know, you can't trust. You've been hurt by somebody along the way somewhere, and so now you are not as trusting with others. You become emotionally isolated, you have a fear of rejection, and you can display self-sabotaging behaviors. So in all those ways, your trauma has kept you stuck. Now, to begin healing it, you first have to become aware of the fact that you've had trauma in the past and it's keeping you from connecting to others the way you want to and living the life of your dreams and desires. So, you know, you have to ask yourself, what are some times when you feel the most happy? When do you feel most yourself? Who do you feel completely comfortable around? There's somebody in your life that you feel like you can just be yourself, you can relax, you don't have to hide any parts of yourself. And what is it about that person that makes you feel that way? What do you want to spend more time doing? Now, when I ask myself those questions, that helped me hone down to the types of groups and activities that I would be more interested in. And I did find those groups, and these are some of the ways that I found them. Plus, these are a few that I know other people have found, friends, and I've heard so many people ask, highly sensitive people and empaths especially ask, how do you make friends as adults? It's a lot harder than when we were kids, because when we were kids, we were around other kids all day. You know, we played sports and did outside activities, dance, and that kind of thing. And we met kids that had some of the similar interests as we do. So as an adult, you can take a course or get a certification. So I've made lots of friends that way. I told you with my health coaching certification that I made a lot of friends through that program with similar interests. And then since then, I've joined other just different coaching programs as a business person, an entrepreneur, and I've met lots of friends through there. Charitable groups is another great way to make friends, because you're working on something that you're passionate about, you're interested in improving about the world or your community. And network marketing groups, I know they get a bad rap, but I have met so many friends through my network marketing groups. And the first one I did was a jewelry program. I did it through Silpada. They no longer do that. It's a different company now than it used to be. But I would have parties, and I would invite all my friends, they would invite their friends, and then you get the next person to host a party for you, and they would invite all their friends. So I met lots of people through that, people that were on my network marketing team became friends. And then I later, once I got into health, I became a wellness advocate for doTERRA essential oils. And there I found so many people that were into natural health. They were, into helping other people. So, I met a lot of friends through there. And then there's so many different companies out there that if you're into exercise, there's a program for that. If you're into supplements, there's different network marketing companies for that. CBD, anything you can think of, you can find a network marketing company for. So just think about something that you're interested in. If you're interested in essential oils, you can come to me for that. Or find somebody local in your area if you want to. And another option is, if you don't want to sell things, that's just not you, then you can just host a class for a friend. You usually get free gifts somehow, and you can invite that friend that's in network marketing over to your home to sell whatever it is they have, and invite your friends. Tell your friends to invite a guest, and again, that's another great way to meet friends. Special interest groups. I joined an intuition group that I met a lot of friends through. I joined a group for empaths, a group for highly sensitive people on Facebook, and even though I don't know them in person, it feels so great to get on there and see other people have some of the same types of struggles that I have. And then, of course, you get ideas for books to read and shows that you like to watch, and so many great things come from that. Local gyms or yoga studios are great. Book clubs. We have a book club in my neighborhood. We also have a wine and dinner club. Sports teams, of course, if you're into that, that's a great way to meet people. Dance classes. Training club for marathons. I know several people get together in groups and they train together, they run together. Animal rescue groups, volunteer for local events. There's a small town near us that has lots of local events, and so you can go volunteer there to help take tickets or whatever, and that's a great way to meet people. Chamber of Commerce or networking groups. And another great way is to go into those small business shops and talk with the owners when you go in there, and they get to know you and you get to know them. That's a great way to make friends. Walk your dog. There's always people out walking their dog, and you can bond over your pets. That's a great way to meet people. Get together with coworkers after work and meet their friends. Go to alumni groups for your high school or college. Follow local bands. There is a band of guys in my neighborhood that there are other neighbors that follow them and go to all the different venues and watch them play. Join an art co-op where you can meet all the different artists, learn a new skill, that's again taking a class, but even if you just get into a hobby and you start talking to people in the store about, which scissors do you think work best for this project or whatever it is. That's another great way just to meet people that are interested in things that you're interested in. And of course, you don't have to have everything in common with your friends. Two of my really great health coaching friends, we have a lot in common. We have a lot of the same interests. We have kids the same age, but there are ways that they are different than me. One of them is very organized and she has a spreadsheet for everything. And so I'm not like that at all. But she is really good at helping keep me on track with the things that keep my business moving forward. And then another friend is, she's more analytical thinking than I am. And I help her because I'm more creative. I'm more of a writer than she is, and she helps me with my mindset and, pushing myself. So I help them by being a connector. I help them find different resources. That's one of the things that I love to do is I collect ideas and resources. It's so good not to feel so isolated and alone and weird. So, I hope that these ideas have helped you and you'll be able to not feel so isolated, help get you out there, help get you making friends. And help you not feel so weird. So thanks so much for joining today, and I will talk to you next week.